Today on Mornings on the Hill, there is something you might have missed at the 2020 commencement ceremony. We've got the special message from the Syracuse University graduate, Governor Kathy Hochul.
On-campus COVID-19 cases have gone down, but there's still a place students don't feel safe.
Do you plan on going to a football game this season? There is one thing you should not forget to bring.
All that plus your rainy weather and a recap of a big high school football game coming up on this edition of Mornings on the Hill.
Good morning, I'm Michaela Armstrong. Thanks for joining us for Mornings on the Hill.
And I'm Lauren Helmbrecht. Our top story has the class of 2020 back on campus 16 months later.
We'll get to commencement coverage in just a moment, but first, Mornings on the Hill is working to gather more information after student media and social media showed protests taking place last night after two fraternity houses and the chancellor's home. Citrus TV reports the protest centered on sexual assaults.
If we get more information before the end of our newscast, we will pass it along. In the meantime, plenty of pomp and circumstance Sunday at the stadium.
Members of the class of 2020 waited a long time for commencement ceremonies, which took place over the weekend. Our Christia Williams is live with a message from the governor that reflects the times we live in.
The class of 2020, about 2,000 members to be exact, gathered here and came back to the Dome to announce their accomplishments and also move their tassels. Family and friends came back as well and were masked, but their sounds were anything but muffled. Their cheers roared throughout the stadium. This commencement gave a chance for students to feel closure and was completely unforgettable. This one is going in the history books.
Congratulations, and move your tassels from the right to the left.
The class of 2020 has waited over a year for their commencement and a recognition of a job well done. Sport management major Noah Diorio says he was looking for a formal ending and is happy he and his friends finally got just that.
It's great to be able to come back and kind of finish everything on a high note.
College of Arts and Sciences graduate Riley Bonferrero says she was very excited to feel closure. She said when she was asked to leave campus at the beginning of COVID, there was a lot of uncertainty. But being back felt relieving.
I think it's really important to kind of just feel recognized, and I think a graduation ceremony is important in general, just to kind of feel finished. That was kind of what it was for me. So I think having the ceremony now kind of makes it feel like I really did that. It's really, really finished and I can move on now.
Guest speaker and New York Governor Kathy Hochul encourages the class of 2020 to not live lives building a resume, but live lives being true to who they are.
I need to share some with you. And it comes not from me, but from David Brock, who wrote a book, The Road to Character. He talked about something I want to leave you with. He talked about resume virtues and eulogy virtues. And let me explain the difference. The eulogy virtues are the ones that people are going to say about you when you're gone. Not a happy thought today, I get it. But will they say that you were a kind person? Did you love freely? Were you a loyal friend? Did you live a life of giving? Did you live a life of gratitude? Or were you spending your life building your resume values, which are oriented toward you being successful for yourself and your career? Important, but know that the last things we're going to say about you are not what was on your resume. Say what kind of person you were.
Hochul says she never wants the class of 2020 to stop dreaming big. She talked about one of the Central Park Five, Kevin Richardson, and his courage. Live for Mornings on the Hill, Christia Williams.
Thanks, Kritzia. Let me tell you more about Kevin Richardson. During commencement, Syracuse University awarded its first honorary undergraduate degree in university history to Kevin Richardson. Richardson was one of the 5 teenagers wrongly convicted and sentenced in the Central Park rape case in New York City in 1989. He was only 14 years old. Each of the men was exonerated in 2002 when another person admitted to the rape. Netflix documented their story in the series When They See Us. Richardson received his Bachelor of Fine Arts, and the university established the Our Time Has Come Kevin Richardson Scholarship for Black and Latino students in need.
Food, fun, and community are what a new on-campus space named 119 Euclid Avenue is offering at their Funky Fridays. 119 Euclid recently opened its doors with the goal to create a new way to support diversity and equity. Office Coordinator Cornelia Stokes says the building is a place for African American students to just exist, learn, celebrate themselves, socialize, and have snacks. Funky Fridays will always feature a sweet treat and takes place every Friday. Stokes says she is excited for the future of this event and 119 Euclid Avenue. Syracuse Police Department and the Department of Public Safety were notified on Saturday after another attempted burglary occurred on South Campus. The University Village apartments were the target this time when 8 suspects not affiliated with the university tried to break in on Saturday. Some residents were able to capture one of the suspects before the rest fled the scene. Before the police arrived, the suspect returned, throwing rocks at windows and buildings, and proceeded to run north towards the 1500 block of Westmoreland Avenue. Reports say the suspect fired a shot in the air, but no one was injured. If you have any information on this incident, please contact the Syracuse Police Department. Now, if you watched SU's football game last weekend, you saw a change. Adriana Roses Rivera is outside the dome with details on what to expect this Friday.
Thanks, guys. And attendees were a little uncomfortable in the first 2 games back at the Dome since the pandemic began, in a mostly unmasked and large crowd. So SU made some changes.
After the first 2 football home games of the season, Syracuse University made some changes to enforce COVID-19 safety protocol during games. Ahead of the Cuse and UAlbany game this past weekend, the university increased dome staffing and signage to remind attendees to mask up. Zachary Nemirovsky, a student and dome operations employee, verifies vaccine and COVID testing compliance for games.
Everyone's pretty receptive. The only issue is a little bit of miscommunication between the time they can get a negative COVID test result and then coming in.
Nemirovsky said attendees are receptive to all the guidelines. Freshman George Haywood said masking during the game is a pain, but most people are understanding.
I think it's kind of a bit of a pain considering we're all vaccinated. I understand the reasoning and the logic behind it, but I mean, all being vaccinated, I already had COVID.
University Vice President and Chief Facilities Officer Pete Sala said having so many students in the dome for the first time since the pandemic began proved to be a challenge and sparked the adjusted measures for the UAlbany game.
We had over 6,000 students. It was the largest student crowd we'd had in years. So having the students there really was a great impact, and we hope we get a nice showing again this week. But that was challenging for us as well. So some people were a little uncomfortable with that, and we understand that.
Despite the masking, vaccine, and COVID testing guidelines, the Orange are back in full force and fully masked.
And folks, there's a game this Friday, so be ready for the Dome's COVID-19 pre-screening protocol. You need to bring your vaccination card or a negative COVID-19 test to be compliant. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Adriana Rosas Rivera. Back to you.
Welcome back. A sad update in the nationwide search for Gabby Petito. Her body has officially been identified. Officials found the body near Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. A coroner has confirmed the body is Petito's and called the death a homicide. The search for her fiancé continues. 22-year-old Petito and her fiancé Brian Laundrie were on a cross-country road trip together in their van. The story gained national attention when Laundrie returned home without Petito. And Petito's family reported her missing after not hearing from her for 2 weeks. Then Laundrie disappeared a week ago. At 8 o'clock this morning, the FBI started searching for him again in a Florida nature preserve.
It might be time to pull out your rain boots and umbrellas as fall weather is approaching. James Catato has your weather report next.
And if you enjoy films, you might not want to miss this upcoming festival. Stay with us for those stories and much more here on Mornings on the Hill.
Time to check your weather for today.
James Catato is live out on University Avenue to tell us what to expect.
Yeah, Lauren, Michaela, if you guys are fans of inconsistent weather throughout your work week, then you're probably going to love this. Let's take a look at some of the highs and lows here on the Hill. Current temperature here at Syracuse is 70 degrees, 79% humidity, high of 78 today, showers likely after 2 p.m., and that's actually going to stick later on. We had a light drizzle here, but it's going to get worse throughout the day. Tonight, when you eat dinner with the family, maybe go to Shine Center with your friends to grab a bite, maybe some Panda Express. I like Halal Shack myself. When you sit down to dinner, it's going to be cloudy with a low around 63, winds pretty high at 13 miles per hour. Temperatures from around the area, let's take a look around the region. Rome sitting at 65. Heading north to Fulton, you're going to get 67 degrees. Rochester at 68. Glens Falls, the coolest of them all, at 62. And then at the capital region, Albany, 66. So if you're anywhere in New York right now, maybe you could bust out a light layer, maybe a light jacket just for your morning commute. But then take a look at your 5-day forecast really quick. Tomorrow, highs of 77, lows of 54. We'll take a deeper look at tomorrow in just a minute, because Friday is going to be tailgate day. Syracuse football taking on Liberty in the Dome. The game is at 8 at night, but if you're getting to Cuse early, mostly sunny with highs of 69, maybe a shower mixed in earlier in the morning, depending on how early you get to the game. But when you get out of work, you head out to the Dome, maybe to campus closer to kickoff, get the box office, punch your ticket. It'll be mostly clear. That stays the same for your drive home after the final whistle. Lows around 52 with clear skies. And then the weather gets much nicer as the week progresses. If Syracuse gets this big win over Liberty, it's going to be a reason for fans to celebrate. But another reason for fans to celebrate is it's going to be mostly sunny on both Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures never getting over 74 degrees either day, so maybe you could hit Marshall Street with your friends, bust out the shorts, maybe a t-shirt. And then when you get back to class on Monday, it's favorable. Low chance of showers, high of 69, mostly sunny. But the question everyone asks is, what's my morning commute going to look like tomorrow? And let's take a deeper dive into tomorrow's daily planner. If you have a morning class tomorrow, it's a nice commute on foot, maybe in the car, but it definitely won't stay that way. Grab an umbrella, maybe a rain jacket, because as the day progresses, the weather's going to get worse. If you like ambient noise when you climb into bed trying to sleep at night, you might love this. Potential thunderstorms later on in the night, temperatures dropping to as low as 54 by the time you go to bed, with some winds between 5 to 9 miles per hour. So the weather overall being a little inconsistent, but overall the weekend looking nice, and then the beginning of the week, especially in the morning, looking nice as well. Lauren and Michaela, back to you.
Thanks, James. The SU Human Rights Film Festival starts this week.
Our own Gabriel Vega is live on campus to tell us how we can watch.
Hey guys, I'm at the Schaefer-Sherman Auditorium where the festival used to take place, the film festival. And this year it's all virtual again because of COVID. So yeah, there's a great selection of 3 films. You should watch them, but take a look at this package.
He was a doting, loving, caring, ordinary father. Father. He was their father.
I'm auditioning for the role of Billy.
I'm here for the role of Billy.
Auditioning for Billy. This is Billy.
Starting tomorrow, you'll be able to watch No Ordinary Man, the story of a jazz musician who was transgender.
He was a transmasculine jazz musician.
Then on Friday, it's Belly of the Beast, a documentary about women in the prison system.
I have some fear. What kind of repercussions will I get for coming on and talking about this?
And finally, to close the festival on Saturday, it's Fire in the Mountains, a critically acclaimed film about a mother saving money for her son so he can get care in the Himalayas. But her husband begins stealing from her. Human Rights Film Festival program director Tula Goenka said she was stunned by the film.
It is so sophisticated in its storytelling visually, but also in terms of just, the story itself is so complex and layered, and the acting is just superb.
And it will all take place virtually.
We had planned in-person film festival this year, like we've done in the past. But because of all the Delta variant concerns, we decided to do it virtual again.
After each film, look out for a live Q&A on Zoom. And you only have 48 hours to watch the film after their release, and you need to log into the Blackboard website. You need to be a student or a staff member to watch them. Yeah, I'm really excited to watch these films. These films look phenomenal. Back in studio.
Students are sharing their thoughts on the current COVID guidelines. Our Allison Turner joins us live with the very latest.
What are you going to say when I have to start talking? We are now into week 4 of the fall semester, and COVID cases are on a steady decline, but the university remains in the red zone. I spoke with 2 students who said that there are some places where they don't feel as safe on campus. There are now over 100 active COVID cases on campus, and some students, like Abigail Traska, are worried about getting COVID, despite a majority of the campus population being fully vaccinated.
Places where people tend to gather, like closer to the Shine Student Center and the main street that's down there, I forget what it's called, and in the stadium, are a little more nerve-wracking to be near.
One of the places Traska feels the safest is the classroom, and that is thanks to the faculty and staff on campus.
But my teachers are reminding people if they see people maskless to put your mask up, put your mask over your nose. And I think they're really on top of things, so I feel safe in my classes.
Student Alana Welch adds her message that says there's more to this pandemic than meets the eye.
I think it's really just being aware that everyone's story is different and that you just need to be mindful of everyone's past and what they have, because not everyone is vaccinated or can be vaccinated, so you just have to be mindful of others.
The university's dashboard shows that we are at the lowest number of COVID cases in the past 2 weeks. We will get tonight's numbers this evening. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Allison Turner.
Thanks, Allison. This weekend may provide the perfect opportunity to go apple picking. Michaela, I love apple picking. I don't know about you. Students have a variety of spots where they can enjoy this classic fall activity, but one in particular stands out above the rest. This morning, reporter Colleen Johnson takes us to Beacon Skiff Apple Orchards.
Beacon Skiff Apple Orchards has been voted by fans as the best in the nation 4 times in the last 6 years. Beacon Skiff President Eddie Brennan said winning the award again has not only helped bring more people into the orchard, but has helped expand the company.
It's created a halo effect and really given validity to everything that we're doing up here, so it's really helped with our hard cider brand, which is 1911.
Brennan says he thinks what sets Beacon Skiff apart from other orchards is that it's 100% family-owned and offers a unique blend of family activities and entertainment for adults. For Fayetteville resident Lauren Knuth, Beacon Skiff is a special place she loves to visit.
I was, raised here, and so I remember coming here even when I was younger, and it's just been growing and growing. So I think it's seeing what's the new thing each year, but also it's just so beautiful.
Even as the best orchard in the country, it still has had its challenges with the pandemic.
You know, we've struggled in terms of getting people to our campus and just keeping our employees safe and healthy. And
Knuth brought her 4 kids with her and felt safe.
You know what? We chose to get vaccinated. My older children are vaccinated, and so I brought masks, but being outside, I didn't really consider it. We've been just enjoying the sunshine.
Currently, only Macintosh can be picked, but Honeycrisp season starts on Wednesday. Colleen Johnson, NCC News.
Syracuse football already exceeded their win total from 2020, and we're not even 5 weeks into the season. Good morning, I'm Alexis Raleigh. The Orange won their first home game this weekend, 62-24. Syracuse had a quick scare to start the game when quarterback Tommy DeVito was taken out at 7 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in the first quarter. DeVito took a hard hit but recovered quickly, and head coach Dino Babers put him back in. Running back Sean Tucker had a total of 253 yards, 132 of them were rushing, while the other 121 were receiving, and finished the game with 4 touchdowns. That's second to the legend Jim Brown. Brown has 6 touchdowns.
Smart Hulk or angry Hulk, that'll determine his proficiency.
Great catch, that's going to go for a score. Damian All.
Definitely a good feeling. You know, Jim Brown's definitely a great, and definitely knowing that's a good feeling.
Hi, congrats on the great game.
First quarter action, Proctor behind by 14. Brandon Peterson finds Xavier McLean, who misses the catch because the CNS defense was too strong. The North Stars turned it into offense ensuing drive. CNS in the red zone as Jamar Ballard gets the handoff, breaks out of the pocket, and takes it all the way to the end zone. He put the CNS further in the lead. CNS was proven to be too much as they beat up Utica Proctor 33-6. CNS football coach Mike Miola says he is pleased with how his team performed against a difficult opponent.
We're still trying to figure out what kind of team we have, and it showed a lot tonight. We're extremely happy.
The North Stars' next game is Friday against Baldwinsville. This past weekend, a West Genesee football player got a brain injury where he was quickly rushed to the hospital. He died a few days later. Our condolences go out to his family and friends. Michaela, back to you.
Still to come on Mornings on the Hill, we uncover more information on the Gabby Petito case, and Juice never sounded so sweet. Stay with us for that and more ahead. In the Gabby Petito case, the search for her fiance is ongoing. Finally, this morning, rapper Jack Harlow will headline University Union's Juice Jam Festival with additional performances by B.O.B., Audrey Nuna, and Bia Miller. The event will be held in person at the Skytop Field on September 26th, marking the first in-person Juice Jam since 2019. Tickets can be purchased online for $25 with your SUID and available this week for will call pickup. That is going to do it for us this Wednesday here on Mornings on the Hill. I'm Michaela Armstrong. Follow us on social media.
And I'm Lauren Helbrecht. I'll see you at Juice Jam. Thanks for watching, Orange Nation. We'll see you next Wednesday live at 10 a.m. right here on